What is good, everybody? It's your boy Wayne, aka Wayne Go Crazy, and we are back. It's been a long time since I made a video, but I just had to make a video. So if you're like me, and 80% of the NBA fans that are working, part of the working class, you went to sleep before 1:30 a.m. last night. But what you did do when you woke up this morning was to some crazy ass news. Kevin Durant has been officially traded to the Phoenix Suns. Now, we saw Chris Haynes made a report, Woj made a report, Shams made a report about how the Suns were interested. Saw this back in the offseason. The craziest part of this deal, the Suns did not have to give up DeAndre Ayton. They did not have to give up Chris Paul or Devin Booker. All the Suns gave up was Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, four first round picks, and Mikal Bridges as well. The first round picks are all unprotected: 2023, 2025, 2027, 2029. And we're going to talk about the Lakers trade afterwards, but this is crazy. That is all you got for Kevin Durant, Brooklyn Nets? That is all you got? You think Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, none of them are young stars. These first round picks, the four first round picks, 2023, that is this year, Kevin Durant is on that team with Devin Booker. 2025, Kevin Durant is still on that team with Devin Booker. 2027, Kevin Durant may not be on that team, but Devin Booker more than likely may still be there. 2029, okay. The Timberwolves got a better trade package for Rudy Gobert than the Phoenix Suns got for Kevin Durant. That is utterly ridiculous. The Brooklyn Nets should be ashamed of themselves as a franchise. In less than 24 months after getting James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, all on that big three trio, the entire unit is gone. You have no young stars. There's not a single young star. I know Cam Johnson has been dropping 40-plus points the last 3 games. He's sorry to tell you. He's a bucket. He's a young bucket. But Cam Johnson is not a young star. You got Ben Simmons, who looks terrible. Now, is this unit going to be built to be around Ben Simmons? Let's see now. Now he has optimal spacing. He's going to be the main ball handler. Let's see if we can get old Ben Simmons back. I was one of those guys that used to say Ben Simmons could possibly be Giannis. Let's see if he's able to make what I used to say true. But at the end of the day, the Brooklyn Nets should be ashamed of themselves. Joe Tsai, you are the guy that traded James Harden. You are the guy that, and Sean Marks, you guys are the guys that traded Kyrie Irving. And you are the guys that traded Kevin freaking Durant. And the best player you got out of this was Ben Simmons, who is a shell of himself. You couldn't even get DeAndre Ayton. I know technically you can't get DeAndre Ayton because him and Ben Simmons are on a rookie deal. I'm pretty sure. So that's why rookie extension. So that's why you couldn't get him. But you couldn't get Tyrese Maxey last year with the James Harden trade. Essentially, you got all the first round picks that you kind of traded away for James Harden. But in the end, you end up with your starting lineup now looking like Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nicholas Claxton. The Brooklyn Nets should be ashamed of themselves. And the Houston Rockets have this pick. So you guys have to find a way to get in the play-in, get in the playoff game. Find some type of way. Because you don't want the Houston Rockets to have a lottery pick. And next thing you know, they're already going to have one from themselves. So you don't want them to have a lottery pick because of you. This is a shame. This is right now talking about the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to get to the Phoenix Suns. But this is a shame. The Brooklyn Nets are a poverty franchise. They should be ashamed of themselves. Now let's get to the Phoenix Suns. I know people are going to say they don't have a bench. They still have Cameron Payne, right? TJ Warren is more than likely going to come off the bench. Or maybe he starts because their starting lineup can look like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, TJ Warren, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. This is crazy. I can't and John Morant said they got no problems out west. Now Kyrie's out west, KD's out west. You have 2 all-star starters out west now. The people don't want to say this. People thought the Big Three era was over. I know that Chris Paul isn't who he is, but that's because he's asked to be a second option. Chris Paul will be a very valuable third option. Might be one of the most valuable third options we've seen in NBA history. There's no reason for this Phoenix Suns team not to make the finals. I know they don't have people on their bench. I know they do not have people on their bench. And I just want to double check. I know they don't have people on their bench. Josiah needs to sell this team. He needs to sell this team. This is crazy. They didn't have to give up DeAndre and they didn't have to give up Chris Paul. They were about to give up Chris Paul for Kyrie Irving. That's what was going to have to happen. And now they keep Chris Paul for Kevin Durant? What are the Brooklyn Nets doing? What is going on? This is crazy. This is crazy. Obviously, now Kevin Durant doesn't have to worry about being a ball handler, being a facilitator, because you have Devin Booker, you have Chris Paul on the court with you. You got Cam Payne, who's a good facilitator as well, off the bench. All he could go out there and do is just hoop. He's in a perfect environment with leadership like CP3 that can take the hard questions, answer the hard questions. Not like he can't do that, but now he's in a perfect environment to do such things, and that is crazy. I can't believe what is happening. Kevin Durant is a Phoenix Sun. We thought it was going to happen maybe in the offseason, but for it to happen prior to trade deadline. And the crazy part is, Josiah did not want to trade Kyrie Irving to his destination, so he didn't. But he traded Kevin Durant to his destination. That's very interesting to me. And what you were able to get is not impressive. Sean Marks will probably never be a GM in the league again. He's known to be the GM that pulled off an amazing trade, pulled off an amazing thing to get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden on the team. That only lasted 18 months. The only one. This Brooklyn Nets era was a complete failure. It was the biggest failure in NBA history. The Nets should be ashamed of themselves. But let's go to the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, this is amazing if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. Kevin Durant on the Phoenix Suns. This is going to be great. I think it's going to help. I don't know how DeAndre Ayton is going to like this, because now he's went from the third option to the fourth option. Now, being the fourth option for Kevin Durant is okay. And maybe they find a way to work him in with the third option. More that Chris Paul is failing down. But if he thought he wasn't getting the ball before enough and the way he wants to get it, you're sure as hell not going to get it the way that you want to get it now that you add a 30-point scorer on your team. And people may say it's not enough time, but Kevin Durant is still on contract for 3 more years. So this is not a rental. This is not a rental. Maybe Chris Paul has a year or two left, but just know this is not a rental. This is not a rental for them. They have him for the long haul. Him and Devin Booker are going to be an amazing duo. We can scratch that right now. That's the best duo in the NBA. Sorry, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Sorry, AD, Braun. Sorry, Luka, Kyrie, which I didn't even touch on. What they got for Kyrie, the Brooklyn Nets, they got Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, first-round pick and a second-round pick. Right? Let's talk about that. We're talking trade deadline now. That was a great move for the Mavs. In hindsight, you thought it was a good move for the before you thought it was a good move for the Nets. Because, you want to stay competitive. Got a first-round pick. You could probably do something, get OG Anunoby, get some other people around. And now that isn't happening either because you traded Kevin Durant. So now that trade for the Brooklyn Nets looks asinine. All these trades that they did looks completely asinine to me. I don't think Sean Marks will have a job this offseason. And some of it is his fault, some of it's not his fault. And I think Josiah should sell the team. I've never seen anything like this. In my opinion, the league should veto this trade because it is utterly ridiculous what the Brooklyn Nets traded for Kevin Durant. Rudy Gobert was worth more in a trade package than Kevin Durant. Let's just think about that. Rudy Gobert was worth more than Kevin Durant. The T-Wolves got 5 first-round picks and 4 players. The Jazz. I think 4 or 5 players. They pretty much got a starting lineup, which they were able to trade to get more draft compensation. What are the Brooklyn Nets gonna do now? You have a Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't think you can trade him now. He's traded. He's out of there next year. Dorian Finney-Smith is definitely out of there next year, which you can use for some trade capital and get some more picks back for him. Because the contender is gonna need somebody like Dorian Finney-Smith. They're gonna need somebody like Jay Crowder. So he's probably gonna be bought out. So you're just gonna buy out Jay Crowder. They're probably gonna trade. You're not building your core around Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, and Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas. That's just not happening. You still got Seth Curry, Joe Harris. They could probably make some trades before then to get some of these guys out. This is crazy to me. I just can't believe it, man. But this is a huge one for the. I'm just confused on what happened with the Brooklyn Nets. Like, the Brooklyn Nets are a travesty, and they should no longer be an NBA franchise. Send them to China. Bring over the Shanghai Knights or Sharks, whatever their name is. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Tonight, Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks played against the Los Angeles Clippers, who had pretty much their full team. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard all play. Pretty much their full team play, and no Luka. And Kyrie Irving and the Mavs were able to get it done. I watched the first half of the game, got a little late, took a nap, but Kyrie Irving looked good. 9-17, 4 for 8 from the field, had 5 assists. I like that I actually saw the Tim Hardaway Jr. in more like a facilitator role. I think that was really good to see him do that. He had 6 assists. Reggie Bullock, I think in the first quarter or first half, he had 5 threes. That was good to watch. I want to see this team more where Luka, Josh Green looks like he's going to replace that Dorian Finney-Smith role. Even though Dorian Finney-Smith, I believe, was like 6'7", 6'9", Josh Green is only 6'5", so I do think they still need to make a move. OG Anunoby is somebody they should definitely take a look at. They get somebody like now they need them. Every team in the West needs to make a move. And honestly, if you want to compete, even though the Suns don't pretty much have a bench for the most part, but if you want to compete with the Suns, you're gonna want to do that. But Kyrie looked good tonight. Looked really good. And one of the guys asked him, "How do you feel about everything that's going on with Kyrie?" They broke the news to Kyrie that Kevin Durant was changing to the Phoenix Suns. He's like, "Can we talk about how I won the game?" But I want to see this duo, him and Luka, together before I give a further analysis on that. Jakob Poeltl got traded to the Toronto Raptors. I think everybody thought he would be going to the Warriors, Lakers talks throughout the months, but that's good. I think that's really good for the Raptors because they actually needed a center. Finally, they don't have Pascal playing the 5. But I also think the Raptors need to blow it up, get rid of pieces because it's just they're never going to win a championship. They don't have anybody to win a championship. Next, let's talk about the blockbuster trade that was blockbuster before the Kevin Durant trade happened, which was between the Lakers, Jazz, and Timberwolves. So they finalized a trade, and this was the finalization of the trade. So the Timberwolves are sending D'Angelo Russell. So what the Lakers are getting D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt, which is a complete steal, complete haul. Russell Westbrook and a first-round pick is going to Utah. Mike Conley and a second-round pick is going to Minnesota. The fact that's all Minnesota got, and they had to trade away D'Angelo Russell, is actually hilarious. Timberwolves continue to show why they're a poverty franchise. They really just need to blow it up, find a way to get rid of Rudy Gobert, find a way to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns, and let it become Ant's team because he is definitely the one guy on the team that can change the face of that franchise. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry to break the news to you. Cat is really good, but he didn't change anything for the Timberwolves. He was just a guy that scored a lot of points and got a lot of buckets and was recognized as being a top offensive center or power forward, or whoever you want to put him on a bad team. Now, somebody that can change the landscape of a team is Anthony Edwards, and that's what they need to do. For the Lakers, this is amazing simply because I'm a huge Russ fan. And I'm actually happy for Russ that he's out of that toxic situation. I think the Lakers really ruined the way people view him. And that's just what happens when you play with Braun. But you get some pieces that are around Braun. Malik Beasley he is a guy, he reminds me of KCP with just a little bit less defense. Well, he gives you the 3-and-D possibility, but he doesn't just play his amazing defense. Give you some more depth in the wing position, which they really needed with Jared Vanderbilt coming on the team. I do think they need to make one more move to try to get another uh, wing guy, in my opinion, because I'm just not a big fan of Rui Hachimura. They still got their 2029 pick. If that's something they could dangle to Toronto to get an OG Anunoby or someone else, or Jay Carter in a buyout, they can go and possibly pick him up. That would be good. And then Russ to Utah. I think we all know Russ is probably going to get bought out to Utah. The main looks are the Clippers and the Miami Heat. I think, and the Chicago Bulls are showing interest. For Russ, I wouldn't go to the Chicago Bulls if I'm Russell Westbrook. But I think the Miami Heat culture can be something that's really, really good for Russell Westbrook. People are like, oh, they don't have that many shooting. We have shooting. They're just not knocking down crazy shots so far. And we lack rim pressure if it's not Jimmy Butler. So we get someone like Russ that can help open up the floor for a Max Strus, for a Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, get them some easier shots. Him and people are like, it's not going to work, they have the shooting. Jimmy is fine. Jimmy will be fine no matter what. He doesn't need the ball in his hand at all to really operate. He can't get the ball in his hand, and when he does, he's going to do what he needs to do. But Bam and Russ pick and roll, the amount of lobs Bam will get will be a reminder like when he played with Dragic, who was throwing him nothing but lobs. And Russ has been able to hit shots here and there, same way Jimmy has been able to hit shots there here and there. I think that would be a good pickup for us as a Miami Heat fan and a Russell Westbrook fan. That would just be a match made in heaven for me. But obviously, I think the better opportunity for Russ to go ahead and win a championship is to go with the Los Angeles Clippers. Him, Kawhi, Paul George, they're missing someone they're lacking rim pressure, someone that can attack the basket and get their guys open shots because they do have a good amount of floor spacing. He will be able to help Zubac out tremendously with some pick and rolls as well. But I think this will be able to allow Russ to get more downhill, get the board and go. Something he really couldn't do as much in LA because they didn't want him. I think Tyronn Lue will be able to get the best out of him. So that would be something that's really good, man. But this trade deadline has been absolutely crazy. I cannot believe Kevin Durant is on the Phoenix Suns. This is ridiculous. Continue to see. We have till 3:30 p.m. today to figure out what else happens. So I will be seeing you guys then. I'll be making another video to recap everything. But I'll be back with more consistently with all these videos, man. Till next time, my name is Wayne, and I go crazy.